That was the governor of Borno State, Malam Kashim Shettima. For our conversation here today, I'm very pleased to have with me the Senior Special Advisor to the President on Internally Displaced Persons, Dr. Mariam Masha. Ma'am, thank you so much for coming. Right. The Vice President of the Presidential Committee on the N.East Initiative, Malad Tijani Tusa, is also here. Thank you, sir, for joining us. The General Officer Commanding 7th Division, Nigerian Army, Brigadier, based here in Maiduguri, Brigadier General Abdul Malik Bulamabiu is also with us. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. And finally, Ms. Idayat Hassan, who is the Director, Center for Democracy and Development. Ma'am, thank you for joining us. Okay. I want to start this conversation actually by looking to the military. We always look at the military in terms of this conflict as the protectors. But we heard the governor in that interview talking about his views that displacement is perhaps the most traumatic thing that victims of Boko Haram have faced. What has been the impact of Boko Haram on the military?
The military, maybe I need to lay a small background. We must have the understanding of the military being part and parcel of the society. Therefore, whatever that affects the society also affects the military. Yes, the military, we are under oath to defend, to protect the Nigerian state as it is. And therefore, there's no commitment in that direction. That is too much. But it's just to say that, yes, we have been engaging in this war for long. So certainly there are also impacts that affects us. There are a lot to talk about psychological traumas, our families. And in any case, like I said, the military is part and parcel of the society. It is not just restricted to the man in the barracks. The man in the barracks belongs to certain families out there. He has his uncles, he has his relations, wards here and there. So whatever that happens negatively, as it is, also impacts on the military.
Are there issues that the military face specifically that perhaps civilian populations that are going through this conflict don't face? So are there peculiar challenges to sort of being part of the army in an area that is going through this sort of trouble?
Yeah, challenges, impacts are universal, so to say, but also they are also specific to some certain organizations and some groups and entities. So for us in the military, first and foremost, if you ask my wife, she will now tell you that, look, that I've been out there, for instance, for quite a long, and she's missing me. And that is also, it's also an impact. So also the children. We've been in this business for upwards of 8 to 9 years now that we're talking about. Okay? So your absence at home may also have a negative impact on the family.
Okay.
But like I said, the military, of course, that is our calling. But for our dependents, for our families, for our wards, for our relations, certainly there are impacts on them too.
Dr. Masha, your job means you have, if you like, the bird's eye view of sort of the issues that this region continues to face as a result of the Boko Haram conflict. So from your perspective, what are sort of the main issues that continue to be the biggest challenges that this community is facing?
I think beyond what the direct impact of the conflict itself, we're looking at how do we begin to move forward. And one of the challenges that we continue to face is around coordination of efforts from different levels, whether it's the civil society, the government itself, private sector, anyone who is working in this region in an attempt to and attempt to alleviate the situation that is being faced. And I think that's the one thing that I can point out.
Now, the thing is this, for someone like me who sort of comes into Maiduguri and leaves, I kind of have a slightly better understanding than the average man on the street of the complexities of issues you're talking about. But often, the average Nigerian doesn't really understand the scale of the troubles that we're talking about. And so, if you could you explain to us what the issues are?
Okay.
In a bit more detail.
Okay, and that's the issues. If we look at the conflict itself and the impact it's had on the region, and we're looking at displacement, and it's really forced displacement, people having to move, not because they want to, but because of the conflict, because of the terrorists, it's really terror, and people have had to flee to survive. So they're faced with a lot of challenges, from access to food, to water, to shelter, to leaving everything behind. Loss of family members, loss of friends, businesses, property. You have people living in camps. It's not what they would want to, where they would have anticipated finding themselves. You also have people who are living in host communities, and that also comes with its own challenges of security, challenges of within a host community, the social services become stretched. So you'd find health facilities which maybe could cater to, for sake of conversation, 50 people. Now it's having to take care of 200. So of course you begin to have also tensions within those communities, as receptive as you'd want to be. It's now, it's clamor, it's survival. Schools as well, education. You have, most times the schools are turned into camps. They're the largest in terms of space and where people can be accommodated. So what you also find is that there's a disruption. Those who've been displaced by force, the education for the children is stopped. And where they then move to, you also have education being halted because they now have because of the influx. Mm-hmm. So that community also suffers. So you have, it's a number of challenges. You also have, damage to physical infrastructure, social services, but more importantly is also psychosocial trauma that people are faced with. And I'm not sure this is something we can measure today. Mm. It's something that would have far longer reaching impact. You have people who not just being faced with, maybe having a family member killed right in front of you, the manner